Veterans Battalion.
What's up, everybody? We are back, Veterans motherfucking Battalion.
And he's back with the F-ball.
Yeah. Hey, man, you know, it's the love, it's the passion. You know, it's good to be back. I got a story on why I was not here, but I think that was interesting. But at the same time, it has a great message behind it that I think we could all relate and apply to our lives and our business itself. So, man, great to see you guys again.
Good to see you too. On American soil.
You're right. I know. For a minute, I thought you guys were going to go pick me up over there. I don't know if you would have, though. You probably would have.
Rolan had some pretty good story about you last week. You got picked up by the federales and shit, right?
Yeah, well, we told our listeners that you were mistaken for, what was it, Pablo Escobar? Coming back from the dead. Yeah.
Nah, dude. You know what? It was crazy, man. But glad to be back. Veterans Battalion here at the War Room, joined by my boy Rolan and Adam. Colt's taking care of business right now. So, you know, shout out to my buddy out there putting in work. And guys, just real quick, I want to make sure that, you know, the mission with Veterans Battalion is we're here to provide the strategies and the blueprints to help veterans transition out of active military and become motherfucking great. That means whether the message that we're putting out, whether it be the resources that we could provide, or just plugging you into organizations that are just going to help you succeed, get better, wherever you're at in your life. That's what we're here for. I mean, a lot of times we come out here and just kind of like shit the shit for say, or shoot the shit.
Shoot the shit.
You know, but it's like, it all has a message and a meaning behind it and a purpose. And I want to make sure that our viewers understand that. And, you know, we cannot do that without getting the word out. So please subscribe. You know, share it with your friends, family members. It doesn't also necessarily have to be military. I think a lot of the times, a lot of the message that we put out here can relate to a lot of people, regardless what you do. And take some of those strategies, apply it in your life, and I guarantee you it's going to fucking change it. And it's going to give you a different opportunity, a different outlook of life that some of us need sometimes. A kick in the ass, just like I needed this morning, and I'll get into that a little bit later.
Just before this, man, I needed a kick in the ass, and I was feeling pretty shitty. Then I get here and see you guys, and now I feel a lot better.
Yeah.
Plus, I got some good coffee in me right here. So,
dude, there's some good coffee here, man.
I'm ready to roll.
Shout out to Lisa.
Shout out to Lisa. Brown sugar.
Brown sugar. She put her finger in there. And she's a Mexican lady, so she's like, "Here's your brown sugar."
Guys, so man, let's start off real quick, dude. Mexico. So, you know, I took a little family vacation out there, quick little family vacation right before. You know, we didn't have the chance to take our actual vacation that we take every year. So it was more kind of like an improv. My daughter likes going to Rosarito. We always stay at this nice resort. And I said, well, look, it's going to be Labor Day weekend, which gets pretty crazy, but screw it. For family, let's do it. So everything was going great. We come back on Monday, and it was just so packed on everybody that's coming back that they started closing off the streets that lead you to the roads to cross the border, meaning there's certain streets that you have to eventually get to, that you start making line now to cross, you know, customs. Well, it got so bad that the federales started cutting some of those roads off because it was interfering with the local traffic. And I mean, shit, people got to get to work, kids got to go to school, and now you got some dumb people that are stopping in the middle of the red lights, stopping in the middle of intersections, and just not letting people go through. So you could just imagine fucking road rage everywhere, dude. So we're like 3 hours going around back and forth. And finally, this dude gets out the car, and it's California plates, goes next to the other vehicle, which is also California plates, and just starts banging on his window like, motherfucker, you caught me off, this and that. And then the dude gets off, and they just start going to blows. Like, I mean, just going at it. And then their friends come out, and then it's a big old mess. And I told my wife, you know what? Screw that. This is just like nonsense. But this is the point of this story. I get on the phone, I call American Express, right? And I said, you know what? I need a room ASAP. I call their concierge service. And this is where customer service plays a big fucking part. I called them and I said, I need a room. I need a place like right now. I want to get there like in the next 20 minutes.
Veteran business owners, listen up. This is for you to have a successful business. Keep going.
Dude, so I call him, and she's all like, Mr. Pena, don't worry about it. We got everything down. I'll give you a call back in 5 minutes. She literally said 5 minutes. By the way, I'm in Mexico, so I'm like, dude, hopefully my call comes through. About 3 minutes into it, she calls me and said, Mr. Pena, you already reserved at the Lucerna Hotel, this and that. Everything's booked, taken care of. All you got to do is the bellman will be waiting for you. They're going to direct you directly to your room. Literally, I pulled up. They parked the car. I didn't even have to sign anything. They had the keys already and everything, and they took me directly to the room. They had toys for my kids. They had a bottle of champagne, and basically they said, relax. Don't worry about anything. American Express took care of it already. Damn. Dude, I was like, wow.
That's amazing.
How's that for
customer service, man? Like that was, I mean, talk about.
But you turn a bad experience
into an amazing one. I mean, we ended up staying the night. You know, they put me in this very badass hotel where like politicians stay at and all that. And you could tell because afterwards I'm like, I was walking and it's nothing like you could tell the politicians there. Then you got the crooked ones because it'd be like some old politician dude and like a 22-year-old. And I'd be like, okay, what's going on here? You know?
And now what does that do for you now? How do you feel about American Express?
Oh, I love it even more, man. It's like, you know, this is the second time that I have used them. And I need it for an emergency aside of my business use already. And by the way, I'm not sponsored by American Express. American Express, achieve your credit lines and air miles. You know,
no, but
I'm not. But it just
show you how great a bad experience can now be into a good one, and that's something that veteran business owners can do is go above and beyond the call of duty, just like a service member would do overseas. And now, boom.
Look what you're doing. You're telling thousands of people about this amazing experience that you had.
It's the best way to communicate a product through your friends, family, loved ones, or following based on an experience. And I think it's the second time, like I mentioned, that I used them. And it always has been me just putting it out there on how important and how great that customer service was and how I would tell people that I care about or that I work with, hey, you know, this is somebody or an organization or a business that if you ever fall in this situation, they literally got your back. And a lot of times that's in business. I think that's what we fail to portray and forget that mission. Because their saying goes, you know, customers always right, customers always first, but there's all these businesses sort of put that aside and then it becomes monetary where, it's about the product, now it's about the profit or how much are we making and this and that. Right. And with them, it was like, I don't care about the inconvenience. We'll do whatever we can on our side to make it happen. That way, when you come in, we have everything taken care of. All you got to do is just relax. And that's fucking badass.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So shout out to American Express.
Hell yeah. That's something that we talked about a couple episodes ago when we talked about, you know, it went with having a purpose, but when you're building a business, focusing on the individuals in the experience and not just the numbers, the profits.
Correct.
Because if you really want to be successful and have longevity in business, you need to provide the best customer experience, the best customer service, and sometimes just forget about, you know, the profits. And totally.
Dude, you know what's funny? I was at a meeting last week and we had this one guy who's a master psychologist in regards to how the mind works in regards to sales and value. And I sat there and I didn't want to take the class because I felt like, this is going to be sort of boring. But I saw that there wasn't too many people there, and I said, I like stuff like that. When I see that not too many people are there, I like it because I feel I'm going to get more out of it. It's more like a one-on-one. You know, it's like now I have a one-on-one with this guy, and clearly he's a big guy. So I'm like, I'm a big guy, not in big size, but in success in what he's done and achieved. Yeah. And he had a formula, and it was, if I can remember correctly, it was like V equals something and something. And he says the biggest problem when it comes to sales, and this is all for my business entrepreneurs over there that deal with sales. He goes, the biggest problem with people that deal with sales is the fact that they think they are the value. So, and I heard this many times when I have asked people like, hey, so what's the value? Well, I'm the value. I'm the value. I'm the one that brings the value. So that's why you should hire me.
Yeah, you're saying that's your
exactly. He says that's the biggest problem. He goes, because in order for the mind to be triggered, there has to be more than one independent value in there that's going to make me engage and want to work with you, whether that be time or money. And I think that's absolutely right. He said, so instead of saying that you're the value, and you could have been like, you know, for example, hey, Adam, I want to sell my house and I seen the success that you have. So obviously there's value there, but you're not going to just come up and say, hey, Pena, well, you're hiring me because I'm Adam.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't work that way. It's, well, one of the values that I bring to the table is, and then you go down to the value proposition that you bring into a business. And I think that a lot of the times what we do is we put that aside and we get that ego come in. And when that ego comes in is now my name is the value. which is in sense is not, because it might be an appearance. It's like a fucking illusion. It's like a magic trick that, yeah, but then it gets lost on the chaos.
And we're in a business, I know all three of us are in a business where egos are the biggest thing in the whole world. And all they're thinking about is, I'm the best, me, I'm number one. But they're not thinking about, all right, well, I have so many great values and traits that I can do. Let me help this person. Let me be genuine.
You know what I thought about when I was listening to guys, that interview we had with Mel, where he said, you know, if you notice and if you go back to listen to that episode, and it's the one that we just put up last week.
I don't like hearing my voice. I don't listen to it.
Well, hey, thanks for the support, fucker.
Hey, my son listens to it. So.
Hey, so, you know, he talks about it's always we. He kept on saying we and how his troops came first and how he would ensure that if there was ever a news that needed to be delivered, whether it be a good one or a bad one, especially if it was like a really bad one, like a person died or something, he would take the initiative knowing that he had the experience and would rather deliver that on an honorable way to that person rather than delegate it to somebody that might not take it right. Now, he could have easily sat there and said, no, I'm the leader. I'm the fucking this and that. I'm the baddest. Because of that, I'm going to fucking just go do it. No, listen to the way he said it. I would rather present that in an honorable way from somebody that has the experience and would actually relate rather than send somebody that would not understand that yet. And I thought that was fucking powerful, man, because that's ego being put aside. Any other leader position could have said, like, look at the Marine Corps. Hey, I'm the fucking sergeant, Lance Corporal, get the fuck up, you go do it. Right? But if he really understands it in a leadership position, it would be, hey, Lance Corporal, stand down. I think that this should be done this way. Explain why, and then go ahead and execute that way.
Makes sense.
And I think in business, well, I know that for a fact in business, that's the way it should be related. And I think that through the confusion, again, as we spoke of what our social society thinks that it should be done, especially now with social media, and we spoke a lot about that. It's the reason why that ego now just, you know, it's fuck that. It's my ego, you know, I'm the value, you know, it's because of my name that I'm going to go out there and do it.
Sure. 100%.
Totally. Just gets amplified too, you know, especially that being on social media, you know, you have your success is measured by how many followers you have, how many, like, and that just feeds in.
You know, it makes it a good thing to kind of break into the topic of today, which is resources. Right. So let's say you do have someone who's starting their business. You have a veteran who's like, you know what, I'm going to be a plumber. Let's just take plumber, for example. I don't know. I'm looking at your red, white, and blue shirt. Just out of plumber. I don't know why. But
by the way, my ass crack was showing or what?
By the way, before we get into the subject matter, why don't you explain what you did this weekend and why you're wearing that shirt?
Oh, man. First of all, shout out to MVP Veterans. Merging Veterans and Players is an amazing organization. I got introduced to it a couple months back, and they reached out to me that I was nominated to be the hero of the week for the Chargers game, which was an amazing experience. In fact, I even told them, dude, I don't want it. Like, I'd rather
you were walking up the bleachers, and everyone's like, "Oh my God, hi!"
Yeah, dude, it was crazy, man.
That was pretty cool.
You know what was funny is, and then this will sort of go into the leverage that we were talking about. Leveraging and taking action and stuff like that. But, you know, they nominated me. I gone to this group now for some time, and it's always a humbling experience, man, because, you know, we have all had our stories of what we have done and what we have accomplished. And to hear other veterans, what they're going through and some of their experiences and stories, wow, bro, it really like makes you have a different outlook in life. And I really think we're blessed and lucky. I'm honestly 100%. I think we're blessed and lucky. Even though we have had some downfalls, it's nothing compared to what some of these veterans have gone through. And it's an honor and pleasure for me to help out. I mean, in fact, I got 3 of them jobs and I committed to it and I just took action. One of them was a fellow Marine. And, you know, it's the funny thing is I went through his Facebook and he looked fucking motivated, good to go and everything. And just like that, it's a different person now. His demeanor has gone down. Motivation's got down. And I always said it, guys, out there, for all the listeners out there, motivation fucking is bullshit. I don't believe in motivation because it's the biggest fucking fraud out there. It comes and it goes. It's never going to stay there. If you just depend on motivation, you're fucked. Because guess what? That's worse than a fucking chick that cheated on you. She's gonna want some more, come back, and then fucking dump you again. So you can't fucking depend on it. But you know what I will say though?
Tell me.
Discipline. Discipline. Discipline cannot fucking leave. Why? Because it's on you if you want to fucking be disciplined or not. Right? Motivation shit. You know, and briefly, while I get back to the Charger thing, this morning, man, I got up a little bit late. I got up at 5 a.m. I went to the gym. I did a little bit of cardio. Then I went to jiu-jitsu. Bad fucking day to go to jiu-jitsu. It was nothing but purple belt, brown belts, and black belt. And I'm the only fucking white belt. Damn. I got my ass fucked up. Like I was dragged like a doll everywhere. It's like motherfuckers were just like now practicing shit with their eyes closed on me now. And I was just, and I wouldn't give up, man. I kept on going. I will tell you, halfway through it, I wanted to throw up so bad. It's like that point where you already feel like the front of your head like just hitting, and then everything else is like spinning, and now you're getting the ring. I'm pretty sure at this point you should go to the hospital, but I'm a fucking Marine. I'm like, fuck it, let's go again. And the main instructors are like, you sure? Like you should take it down. I'm like, no, let's fucking go. And I did it. Dude, I finished. I threw up like twice in the bathroom. I got home.
Your arms all ripped out of your socket.
Dude, I couldn't feel my fingertips. Like, cause you know, you're holding the gi and you're trying to, my face felt like if they just took me through the 101 freeway, like dragging me or something. And I got home, I showered, and I think it was about 7 a.m., 7:30-ish. And I laid down and I passed out, dude. I was done. And I remember when I passed out, things were still turning and everything. And my wife's all like, oh my God, are you sure you're okay? I'm like, no, I'm fucking good. I've done this before. And when I woke up and it was like 9, and I'm like, shit. I'm like,
is that why you were late today?
Yeah, it's exactly. But it goes back to the point. Like, you know, I have 2 options there.
And by the way, JP's never late.
Never late, guys. This was the first.
Usually here, like at 6 a.m., waiting at the front door.
Dude, that's true story, by the way. True story.
No, very, very true story.
And so I got up and I'm like, shit. And now this goes back to discipline, because you have 2 options. One, I could have easily just said, hey, guys, I'm not feeling good. You know, so on and so forth. Like, you know, I'll catch you on the next one. But no, dude, discipline. Discipline is the fact that you commit to something, you take action to it, you do it. Just like I committed to getting that mat with those guys, knowing that I would probably get my ass kicked. You commit, you go for it. There's no motivation there. So, I mean, they could have put the Rocky music in the background. Would that would have made me feel any better? Fuck no.
So this is perfect though, because in the military, right, we are fucking forced to put discipline on, right? It's engraved, you're trained on it. Everything you do is intent, right? 8 a.m. you intentionally go to the chow hall, or 9 a.m. you intentionally go to that freaking PMI class, or whatever it is, right? But now that you're out, there's nothing, right? So that's the one thing is, if you're ever struggling, for me, I go back to, all right, everything I do is intent. So I write down my entire schedule from 05 to when I go to bed at 22. Right? Like everything is intent. So I'm supposed to be here right now, right? After this, I'm supposed to go to my office and I'm supposed to do X, Y, and Z, right? And that's the thing is, for people that, you know, and that's where discipline comes in, because when you're feeling like shit and you want to lay down at 7 a.m., which, you know, it happens, bro. Like, you know what I mean? But like, there's just times where you don't want to do anything, but your discipline fucking kicks in. No matter what, if there's motivation or no motivation, if you know you have to do something at a specific time, if you know what I mean, and that's just the way it's gonna go.
No, definitely,
and that's how you be successful.
And this goes back to, that's why with MVP, man, I think it's a great organization, because it sort of unites all these veterans, and I always try to share something every day that I'm there. Hopefully to get into somebody. And that's what I did with this gentleman when he said, look, if you would have heard the story, but the key thing is that he said 3 important things off the bat. He said, I'm a great father, I'm a great husband, and I've done great in my service. And I'm like, dude, you're a fucking badass already. You are a motherfucking badass. Yeah. Don't ever fucking say that you're less, that you're not. You don't realize how much you achieve. And I committed myself to helping these 3 veterans get jobs. I didn't know how I was going to do it at the time, but I said, by next week, I will have you guys interviews. And I delivered on it. I did. 2 of them are going to work for Brinks. The other one, I'm getting him a security job with the top security company here in LA. Awesome. So, you know, I just made calls. I did it, but I commit. But, you know, MVP, man, shout out to them. AJ Denver, Jay Glazer over there, Nate, Randy Couture. I mean, these guys are just incredible on what they're doing.
So how do how does anybody join MVP, or are they very specific on who they?
Yeah, no. As long as you served and you are willing to get help, I mean, you're more than welcome.
Were you saying that you were going to beat Randy Couture's ass or something?
No, Randy, I never said that, by the way. But it's on Unbreakable Gym every Wednesday at 6:30. That's 18:30 for all you jarheads out there. Great. It's right on Sunset. Unbreakable, 6:30. I mean, you can look us up on Facebook, MVP, but great organization. And again, they're always doing great to help other veterans. I mean, dude, literally like 2 weeks ago, they donated a car to a guy that would Uber from Riverside all the way here every Wednesday. And so that's amazing.
You know what'd be badass though is if we did a podcast from MVP, like
we should.
One of their events, and
we should
definitely
see if people
kind of going a little bit more in detail on the story and exactly what they do.
I think it's a great organization.
What it does is they merge veterans with pro players, because pro players go through the same transition. I mean, and think about it. I had a client once that worked for the second largest insurance company that insures football players, and he said that by average, most of them last anywhere between 2 to 3 years only. And that's it. Then either you're cut or now you're being relocated or moved. So the transitioning part from somebody who's 19 years old, 20 years old, whatever the case is, now it's just being put up into this high standard, making this much money, and then just like that, taken away from you. Yeah. It's a reality
There's so many connections with service members from everything. Like, the purpose that you lose once you take that uniform off is parallel to the NFL athletes, when they're no longer wearing that uniform.
Obviously a big pay difference, but besides that, though, the message is still there.
Definitely.
No, it is.
And that's the best part of their life.
And I've seen them a lot, man, especially like where I live. You'll see some of these guys like rolling into Equinox or stuff like that. And you could tell because of their stature and their size, and then I'll look them up, and it's like, oh, this guy, $5 million, $6 million bonuses, and now it's like, living in a small apartment somewhere, and it's sad, but a lot of the times it goes back even with the military. There's no system that educates these players, just like the veterans.
Just like they say, don't buy that car outside the base,
and you still do.
They need to have someone do the same thing with obviously players as well.
Dude, that's why I think the Patriots are such an amazing organization. I mean, the Patriots are the most strictest, most organized organization out there. I mean, they keep their players
and the most successful
on track. But it's a whole system. It goes back to system and procedures. That's why
procedures, the culture that they have. It's just I
mean, you're out of line with the Patriots. You're done. You go anywhere else. I mean, look at my Cowboys. Fuck,
dude, my Cowboys, man.
You just get slapped in the hands and then come back and play. But
you can beat the shit out of your fucking spouses and all this stuff, and these teams are letting them on still.
Yeah, well, I don't know who you're directing that to. By the way, I do not relate to Adam's comment here, just FYI. But let's get back into it though, man. So MVP, great organization. Definitely, you guys should check him out. I mean, it's amazing, and it was badass to be down there at the Chargers game. It's actually my son's first ever NFL game, and now he's a Chargers fan.
Oh, now he's a Chargers fan?
Yeah. So
wasn't he Cowboys before with you?
Yeah, well, he said he liked the Cowboys, but the funny thing is, last week I was telling him, I said, "Hey, man, dude, NFL season's gonna start. My Cowboys playing the Panthers, and he goes, here we go again. Dad, you already know they're gonna lose." And I was like, "What?" Yeah. And I was like, "You know what?
Damn.
Time out, bro." But it's I'm fun. I love that whole father and son connection. My wife and my daughter, they were just like, this is too crazy. Cause they get you get the opposite teams talking shit and, all that stuff. And so she was like, I don't know. And so, but yeah, man, it's funny cause I'm going through the tunnel and I'm entering the field. And right as I'm passing the tunnel, you see, Army guys that did the color guard. I sold that guy a house. So he's like, JP, and I'm like, oh, hey, what's up, bro? Then I'm walking, and there's 3 SWAT guys that I sold them their house, and they're like, JP, and I'm like, oh, they're like, what the hell? And then the rep for the Chargers, she's like, man, you're fucking well known here. And as we get to the field, there's 2 more of my clients on the field, and then there's sheriffs that are my clients as well.
I saw them because they're posting on your page.
Yeah, everybody was like posting. So, I mean, it goes out to just, like she mentioned, well, aside of being a vet, what do you do? I mean, I'm like, you know what? It's just, I feel that when you put a purpose out there that just help people out, people remember that. and it felt good, and it was an amazing experience. I mean, I'm glad that I got opportunity and honor to have that, and especially because my son, I wanted him to see that, you work hard, you do well. It doesn't have to be a monetary reward. It could be something as small as this, but it goes a long way. And so that was great.
One thing I want to touch on right now is, I know we're doing this podcast, drinking coffee, things are great, but when we leave here, our lives are not exactly the easiest at all. Like I know we kind of go on here and we preach how to do certain things, and but look, my life's one giant clusterfuck sometimes. Even right now, and even in my business, growing business, we're growing substantially right now, by doing the right thing in an industry like we were talking about before, where people are not the most genuine, but that's honestly where we shine, is because what we do for vets outside of this podcast. And that's why I want to really touch base on taking action, and leading with intent, and obviously being resourceful.
Yeah.
Where you're put in a situation in your business right now where you have to be resourceful, and so do we. So tell me, as a business owner, how do you get resourceful? Because here's the thing though. What I mean with resourceful is, look, you start in a business, you're, JP the plumber crack, right? And let's say you don't have a lot of money and you do want to go out there and be well known and you want to get business. Let's take it from the top.
So I wanted to get shit off my chest today, and I think it's
only been 25 F-bombs so far, just heads up.
JP is back.
No, you know what? It's funny.
Last week we did
it without. Here. Yeah, we did it without JP, and I think
I said the F-bomb once. Yeah. He gave me a look of death.
Yeah. Oh shit! If I would have been here,
could you imagine? That would have been funny.
Bro, he might have walked. He might have had you knife handed.
You know what?
You would have been standing at the POA.
I did give him a heads up though when I did speak with him over the phone. I said, "Sir, just to let you know, I'm passionate." So, I did carry away.
Outside, look at the sales going on right around.
But, it's funny when you say resourceful, because the one thing that just fucking pisses me off about people, man, is the fact that there's so much shit out there that you could take advantage of without having to pay, without having the excuse of I don't have money, without having the excuse of, well, I don't know that trade well enough. Or let's go back to fucking me being a plumber,
and
right?
It's called sweat equity.
Well, sweat equity, but you also have
just
YouTube.
Being creative.
You also have
creative.
Books. You have all these resources out there that can help you. So, for example, if I'm going to be a plumber and I'm going to call this the JP Crack Plumbing System or Plumbing Organization, whatever the fuck it is.
Right? Picture your logo with your face, with a crack in the back.
Yeah. And then I have the chevrons on the back, whatever it is.
Right.
But I have two options. And this goes out to anybody out there that just wants to get some shit done. Mm-hmm. And it's just hesitating because we live in this square box that we're meant to we're told that this is the way you should live your life. You go to school, you get a degree, and you basically execute on this square box, right?
Sure.
Well, this is my fucking thought. Fuck your square box. Because at the end of the day, without a degree, with or without a degree or whatever, I think there's certain things that you need to go to school for. Like if you're going to be a doctor, yeah, go to school. You're going to be a dentist, go to school. But if you want to become an entrepreneur, start a plumbing company like we're talking about, you don't need all these excuses and shit that you put in front of yourself to get it done. I'll tell you what you do. Go out there, first of all, get a DBA. Get an LLC if you have to. Second of all, you don't know shit about plumbing, then you're fucked. Because you already should know at least the basics of that. But if anything, YouTube, man, how much shit can you not fucking get in YouTube? I fucking had to fix my HVAC yesterday, and I have two options. I could sit there and call somebody and wait for them to come or whatever the next day, or I go to YouTube, type that shit in, and I got it fixed within fucking 30 minutes.
So, all right, so you have a plumber, right? And he's starting out. A lot of times, because he doesn't have money, he's going to see opportunities where he walk into a house and he could say, look, you need an entire remodel, right? And I can replumb this thing. And in his mind, he's thinking, oh, I can make $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, right? But what the person really needs is a $200 job, right? And this is where you come into a lot of problems in that industry, for example, right? You have this older lady who's like, you know what? My plumbing's messed up. A lot of times people will go in there and recommend
we dealt with that
the $5,000 job versus a $200 job. And what that does is he's thinking about the now instead of the future.
So sometimes you got to put profit aside to build a database or to build some sort of pipeline.
Get out there, be genuine, and lead with intent, and it's amazing.
Dude, if I want to be a plumber or not, this is what I would do. My 3 top things that I would do. It's 1, start outreaching out to the homeowners, whether it be just a checkup. I'll do a free checkup on your whole property, let you know what systems are not operating, what needs to be changed, what's potentially causing any issues. Or if you have any issues right now, I'll diagnose it right now, give you a free estimate on everything. That's off the bat. There's nothing like face-to-face interaction, and you're doing it off the bat. Second of all, contact realtors. Hey, this is my name, JP. I'm with Butt Crack Plumbing. Do you need anything done out there? Any property that you have right now that you have in escrow might have a plumbing leak or this and that. Now you're exposing yourself to numerous people that have outreach to homeowners, which are selling homeowners.
And you know what? Go out there and do shit for free.
Dude, yeah. And then the third one would be social media, man. Put a fucking video on how to fix a quick little leak on your kitchen. Make it fun and exciting, social media.
Be interactive.
Show that butt crack.
Dude, be funny, humor. The whole point is you're exposing yourself out there. And the one thing is that you got to strategize this in a way that you have to have a plan of attack.
And that's the one thing, though, is do you notice how, and I'm saying this because I want people to listen to this, not once have we mentioned money. Because a lot of people's excuses are, I don't have a lot of money.
That's their biggest,
I can't be self-employed because
excuse.
I don't have a lot of money. Well, this is how you do it.
Dude, I'm looking for a fucking lease right now, and you guys know that. And there's places that I like that are fucking expensive. And I'm not fucking putting them out and saying, hey, you know what? I'm not going to get that shit done. I'm not going to do it. Instead, I'm saying how I'm going to fucking execute it. These are the steps that I'm taking in order to fucking get there. That's the thing. It's not going to run on my mind that I'm already stopping it and not doing it. It's fuck it. I'm going to make it happen. Let me figure out how to fucking do it.
And it's the same regardless whether you're a plumber, whether you're a mechanic.
And by the way, I'm not going to say any names because but I was really upset last weekend when I went to this wonderful event where I got to meet some very, very high level business owners, right? And one of them happened to be someone big for this specifically big veteran company, who basically says, hey, Adam, if you go out there and try to do what you think you're going to do with your company, they're going to crush you.
Yeah.
And because you know what? They have more money. And
they have more money when they catch wind of what we're doing. It doesn't matter how cool we think our name is, how cool our branding is, what our purpose is. When they catch wind of it, they're going to crush us.
But they don't have our heart. And you know what? Yeah. And bring it on, motherfucker.
It's not even about the heart, man. Look, it's about...
It's intent, though. They cannot replace you. No matter what you do, JP's butt crack, whatever JP does, you're going to do it because you're a good person and you're going to genuinely help people. Someone else comes in there, they can't replace you.
And it goes back to what you were going to highlight with the plumber. When you're in a position where you can easily take advantage of a client for the purpose of making a higher profit, getting more of a profit margin and net sheet, that's where you need to make that decision on what's doing right for your client or what's going to give you the profit margin. And you can transition this into any business. You can do it in real estate. You can do it in mechanic, everything. If you focus on providing the best customer service, the best value, that's how you're going to get longevity. So whatever you're doing out there, whatever your business is,
if you're looking for the short game, then do the wrong thing.
Totally.
You're looking for the long term and growing.
Do the right thing.
And doing wonderful things for people.
That's how you're going to create.
It's on the results,
fans,
man.
Definitely.
At the end of the day, it's the fucking results. That's it, man. I mean, fuck yeah. So you might have a lot of fucking money. So you get a fucking head start. That's it, man. But fuck that, dude. It's not gonna work. I mean, you got to remember that there's different strategies that one can take in order to achieve that recognition or to create that uniqueness that is going to attract those customers or that product to come out and then make you substantial and for you to stay in the game. That's the most important thing, because there's been many companies that have had the money, and then there's fucking so many out there that fucking tanked automatically because of the customer service. Sure. I mean, dude, we're not too far away. I mean, we're in
an industry where someone can go online.
There's many right now already.
I mean, but look, right now, if we were to do something bad, our name can get tossed around all over online via Yelp, going all of our pages, go on Facebook. I mean, I've seen this where,
and then you're done. You know how hard it is to
it's
get.
horrible.
We just dealt with that just recently. How long did it take us to get that damn Facebook review? That it was just
It was
a
a
bogus negative rating on Facebook. It took us almost a year to get that deleted.
Yeah, that was bad.
It just ridiculous. So
I'm curious, who was this person that said that?
it was like some foreign, I think from
No. You're
either
talking about
the
the one that's gonna
Philippines
crush us?
or
Yeah.
oh no, well we can't say it.
Well,
No, I'll say it. I don't give a fuck.
See, look at his fucking butt crack over here, putting his chest out. you
Yeah,
know?
I mean,
Now we'll show them when that time comes.
We'll definitely show
Right
'em.
now we're just using it as fuel to the fire and in motivation. And
you know what? You got to make your
that's-
competition irrelevant, man. If
Yeah.
if you sit here and focus on your competition, then you're doing the opposite of action.
But
However, here's the thing.
though, too, is
Here-
that you can use that.
No, you can't.
Yeah,
No, let me tell you
here's
why I don't believe in
one
that.
of the things that.
You guys
like-
ever heard of the blue ocean strategy?
All right, let's
reads a lot of
get some.
Yeah. See, so basically, you have two options. One, you can sit there and make the competition your focus in order for you to go out there and try to break or achieve, or you make it to the point where it becomes irrelevant, and then that's how you fucking succeed.
Okay, but
that's how you take
Here's
action.
the thing,
No,
though.
I get it.
I disagree with you there because
Oh, this is good.
there's going to be
Disagree.
times.
This is good.
There's going to be times like there's different factors of motivation.
And let's use the gym as an example.
yeah.
Use gym. Okay, so let's say you're overweight, right? And you're in some fucking asshole called you fat and whatever, right? You're at the gym. You're 80% done with your workout. You're exhausted, and you need to push that extra 20%. Sometimes physically you just can't do it, but you need some sort of motivation.
You
to go over
remember?
the top.
You
when
remember that
remember-
girl?
but this is
you
not
remember that
motivation.
girl
This is
in the
not
ninth-
motivation.
No, tell me this. When you were in 9th grade, and there was that girl that you just had the biggest crush on her. You would dream about her from the time you woke up to the time that you went to sleep.
Okay.
And then you finally got the courage to
go up there
ask
and
her
say
out,
something.
to go up and ask her
Right.
out. And then she said, JP, she looked at you. She looked at your bonsai, hanging over your pants. And then she's like, nah, JP, we're just friends. I don't want to ruin that. But deep down inside, you knew it was because you were fat. You can't tell me that that's not going to motivate you to give you that extra freaking 100% to
No,
really kick ass.
let me change
those
that
extra
so
20
it
minutes.
makes sense to what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Okay.
Same situation,
Yeah.
but she says, I like Adam instead. Because that's what we're talking about. We're talking about motivation versus a competition. Motivation due to a competition. That's what we're talking about. We're not talking motivation due to a girl. I mean, because that's not competition.
Well,
that's,
he just threw the gym in there and
Example.
giving that extra motivation.
but in this case, let's say it was, hey, I like you, but you're fucking fat. You look like a fucking a marshmallow.
Sack of potatoes.
But then I look at Adam and it's like fucking Ryan Gosling and fucking Fabio at the same time, And so, okay, now, yes, in that opinion, I would direct everything to try to motivate myself to become better, to get pumped and to do this. But let me ask you this. Who am I really doing it for? Am I doing it for her or am I doing it for him?
No,
Because he's my competition.
I get that.
See, and that's what I'm saying. It's like, let's go with gyms. Equinox versus Crunch. Why do you go to Equinox and not Crunch?
Because of the experience.
Do you think Equinox cares about the competition that Crunch gives? No. They have set a different standard. They have set a culture and experience that makes the competition irrelevant.
Okay, but here's the thing. I'm not saying to get involved with your competition and focus on your competition. I'm saying use that negative, that everything
I
that
get what you're
negative
saying.
is
You're saying use the
because there's gonna be times when if you're
the motivation's
you're
done.
building a business, whether you're building a business, accomplishing a goal, there's going to be people that tell you can't do it, that you should quit,
Correct.
that you'll never amount to shit. I'm saying use that as fuel to use that to take action.
Ooh, I got him right now. So
Definitely.
just like I
Okay,
did,
I wanna hear.
just like I did to go the wrong route and start selling high-end homes and get distracted from the actual mission because I was fueled by that fire, then instead of doing my passion and what I love, I started proving people wrong.
See, as long as you have what I'm saying is know your purpose.
That's right.
I'm just saying know your purpose, but use There's going to be people.
But don't do your purpose based off of the people.
Don't let it get off
But
track.
that's what that means. That's what the ocean strategy was. That's what that means. That means that you now see when successful business have succeeds and they all have competition, is you find ways to make it irrelevant and how your system's going to be better versus using the feel of that. Because sometimes, let's say, okay, so if you're going head to head with one, right?
Yeah.
And they start just adding more stuff to it where now you get even more pissed off. You're like, fuck, they said that and this, now they added that. Your whole sense now is driven off of that. And you're going to want to now create something different than that. Or you think you're going to want to one up it more because now you're focusing on what they did. And then now you're both doing this.
No, I get that.
Versus you just
off track.
Yeah, versus you becoming your own identity, focusing on how you could just make that experience better. I'm not saying
that's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying to take you off track, to stand true to your vision, your purpose.
Correct.
But use that instead of when you get negative thoughts, negative connotation, when people tell you that you can't do it, use that instead of doubting yourself.
Correct.
Because it's going to happen. You're going to get doubts.
Dude, that's going to happen.
Use that as fuel. Use that as a pivot point to really step up and take action, to do the shit that you need to do.
Dude,
like the stuff that you said, like when you know what you have to do to become successful.
My whole thing is this, man. Look, you're going to have fucking haters and fucking people that are going to talk shit every time as your business grows, as it scales. So you can sit there and every one of those pieces let it bug you. Yeah. Or you could just start fucking sending out popcorn. And that's what I believe. Send out popcorn, have them sit down, watch the fucking show.
I like that too.
Definitely,
I see both.
It's easier said than done, for sure.
It is, and that's ego.
It's very easier said than done. That's why you just need
because I'm the same way, man. Look, and I'm not perfect. And it's a good reason we're having this conversation because sometimes I'll have that where I'll see somebody post something or say something negative, and trust me, my first reaction is I'm very reactive. I'll be like, dude, I'm about to fucking, and then I sit back and understand. I'm like, wait, first of all, what am I going to win off of that? One, nothing. There's times where I fucking have typed out a whole fucking, like 2-paragraph comment, and then I'll just go back, read it, take a deep breath, and then delete the whole thing. And not even worry about it. You have to look at business the same way, man, because you got to remember, some of these businesses, their whole strategy is to scare you. Their whole strategy is to bring fear into you, and you turn that fear into fire. But once you turn that fear into fire, now it's a different purpose. Now you're out there to kill somebody. Now you're out there to fucking take somebody's head off. Now you're out there too.
I agree that they create a fire, but if your intent and your purpose is always, aligned with who you are, it doesn't matter. Obviously it heats you up and fires you up, but what we're talking about is those long days, right? When you're putting in those extra hours and you just need to go that extra 10% or 20% and you're tired and you're exhausted, right? Kind of like how I guarantee you look at your arm a lot, right?
Yeah.
So you look down, that's why you have it there. So I know that there's times where your whole mission isn't like, I'm going to do this today. And you're not staring at your arm, but like, hey, when you're out there and it's freaking 2 hours past your last open house, you haven't had food for 4 hours. Because you've been so busy and you're picking up signs, walking up Mulholland or wherever you do, I guarantee you there's times where you got to look down that arm, and that all of a sudden like, hey, I'm not hungry anymore. Right?
Okay, but that's my family. I don't have a list of the haters, and I look down and I'm like, you know what I'm saying? This is your stronger why, bro.
No, but I'm saying
this is your stronger why.
I believe in fuel, right?
Fuel.
So that's good fuel. Right?
Correct.
Whether it's good fuel, bad fuel, whatever fuel, I just think that some people just need a little bit of fuel.
That's good. I 100% agree with that.
And
you're going to need fuel, man. What I'm saying is you have two types of fuels. You have the fuel that you're more closer to and passionate to, that what you're fighting for, or you could have the outsourced fuel you, which sometimes it could be unhealthy.
Definitely. And you know what? Just getting back to, I think either way, we all have great points, and whether you're using positive or negative, it's ultimately being your fuel to take action. That's what's most important. Taking action, knowing the things that need to be done in order to achieve your success, to accomplish your goals.
For example, I'm going to tell you when Adam, when you had that first interaction with whoever this person was, you should have seen his text, bro. He was like, I think he dropped more F-bombs than I have in this whole show, just in one text. So, and he was like, dude, I'm going to cut their head and this and that. So I'm like, dude, okay, you know what I do in situations like that? Like, for example, you know, even with what we're doing, I've had people tell me that it will never work. And I sit there and I smile. And the most recent one was at our brokerage.
Because you know what this motherfucker told me? Let me just tell you what this motherfucker told me. He goes, I deleted my Instagram account because I had too many vets hitting me up on how to do stuff and trying. But here he is supporting companies, big companies. I'm talking like when you think of vets, these companies, yeah, those are the companies. Okay, those companies are supposed to be helping vets, which I'm sure they are. They seem great. But you have a guy who is not genuine, doesn't have good intent, and he's out there trying to talk all this shit, you know? And if you're turning off your Instagram because vets are hitting you up, that's like, hey, Marine, he's like, hey, I need a life raft, and you're a life raft, you know, and I think you can help me. And here he is saying, fuck you, you're not gonna have a life raft.
Well, that's why we have organizations like ourselves, man. And listen, you're going to run into people out there that are not going to have that vision. They don't care. Why? Because they never experienced it, man. These are people that, you know, fake the funk in order to plug into something that it's a benefit to them. It goes back to the monetary process that we spoke about. That's why it's irrelevant, bro. Shit like that doesn't matter because, again, it's irrelevant. It's not something that goes with really what we're doing. And what we are doing, and we have the proven record that we have fucking helped, got shit done, and have a larger vision and create an impactful program platform that every veteran is going to relate and want to be a part of. That's fucking great. That's great. And that's what's going to fucking disaster, periodly, all these fucking other organizations. That's why, dude, I don't give a fuck.
Why? Because we're taking action.
Exactly. And that's why it doesn't bug me. In fact, like I was going back with this guy. I told him about it was at the brokerage at that little seminar where that guy came in. And I said, oh, yeah, we have this podcast where we help out veterans. And he goes, oh, man, I think you shouldn't be wasting your time on that because veterans are homeless and homeless got no money to buy no homes and everything like that. And I said, huh?
Really?
I said, well, tells me a lot about what you know about, the veteran community. He goes, oh, I know my dad served in Vietnam. He was a homeless drug addict and this and that. And I go, great. Did he ever seek help? Did anybody ever offer? He goes, no, we didn't care. He was a drunk addict, this and that. So but see, look, here he goes reactive. I could have sat there and gone off on him and everything, but look, you got to realize if he grew up as a kid and all he saw was his dad being drunk, maybe abusive. He's not going to tell me the whole story. Maybe beat up his mom and beat him up. He has a reason way of thinking to have a mentality. Yeah. Now, my job is either one, I could sit there and fucking knock his head off, or two, find deeper what was the reason that shifted him. And I sat there and I started talking to him. I go, well, what was that experience like? Tell me more. It stopped being about what I was doing in Veterans Battalion. It became more about, let me learn about you. And I asked questions. And finally it came down to, yeah, he raped him. And I sat there and I was like, well, fuck. Somebody raped me. I mean, I can imagine the hate that I'm going to have. So it's a lot of hatred that built up that gave this person this mindset and this way of thinking. And our job is not just to go out there and, hey, veterans, let's do that. No, there's going to be situations where we're going to have to educate the people and give them a different understanding of what veterans is like and why they acted that way. Because, dude, if you served in Vietnam and you came back, fucked. It was bad. It was bad. Just think about all the shit that you went through over there, the drugs, because people were doing drugs over there and getting your ass kicked and fucking casualties coming in like crazy and you finding different ways to cope with that. And then you come back home to a location where people hate you. They don't look at you as a hero, even families. Who knows if his mom fucking hated the dad and fucking made him feel like shit. Put yourself in that situation at your lowest spot that you were at back in 2008, 2009, whatever, and then have all that shit thrown on top of you.
Yeah.
So how can we judge somebody that experienced that and try and sit there and be more pissed off at them or that rather than help them?
Absolutely.
You can't.
Right.
Yeah, you really it's so important. Just putting yourself in someone else's shoes to try to get
yeah, you're gonna have those dicks that just off the bat. I mean, I ran to so many people. Oh, fucking Marines, you guys think you're the shit. This and that. Fuck you, dude. Great. Back in my days, well, all right, let's go, motherfucker. Yeah. Now it's like, God bless you. That's my new thing. I tell people, God bless you.
You never know. They might have lost their first wife to a Marine.
Dude, yeah, which is commonly known. But, it's like I had a dude get off the car like a month ago. Dude, I was on Fairfax, and he's just honking. I'm in a red light. I'm like, dude, what do you want me to do? There was no cars coming, so he wanted me to take the red. Yeah. And I'm like, fuck. I started getting mad. He's like honking, and then he's moving his cart forward. I'm like, dude, You fucking hit me, dude. It's on. And he started getting caught, and then he gets off the car. I'm like, you know what? Oh, hell. And I popped out the door, and I seen him, and I'm like, God bless you. And I got back in the car. His face was priceless, bro. His face was like,
That's
oh,
cool.
shit, you know? So, man, like, I'm learning that in life as you go. You have to learn to understand people, their actions.
They could be having a shitty
A
day.
shitty day. It could have been a
Parents
bad experience.
died,
Dude,
whatever.
it goes the same thing with business, man. How many times do we have customers that are just fucking crazy in the head? But it's because they really don't have an understanding of what they're doing. Or maybe we failed in the beginning to properly put the right expectation that they needed, right? So a lot of times we got to go back to ourselves and check ourselves, because it's not always about we, or me. It's also, dude, tell me more about you, man. Like, wow, that's interesting that you feel that way. Like, let me know more about that. You get what I'm saying?
Definitely.
So that's why when I mentioned the whole thing about businesses and all that, for me, dude, it's irrelevant, man. Because you know what? I have a bigger purpose, man. What I'm doing is much bigger than somebody's opinion. Whether you had a shitty day, maybe a bad experience, I'm gonna crush you regardless. But you're not the reason I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it because of my why and because of fucking my purpose, dude. My vision.
Cool. That's a badass closing statement right there, bro. Thank you.
Sounds
Good job.
good to me.
Good job. That was good.
Hey, man, you just gotta fucking put it up, man. And you know what? It's fucking, you know, it's just, you know, everything we do, man, I think that it's a learning experience. Everything. And in business, there's no such thing as you get to a certain point, then shit is just perfect. There's not. You're always gonna have obstacles. You're always gonna have shit. I mean, fuck, I had agents quit. My assistant fucking quit. I can sit here and fucking cry about it. I can sit here and fucking not do shit, or I fucking take action. Make shit happen, right? It's gonna be uncomfortable, but guess what? You're not gonna fucking die. You keep on moving. And in business, once you step into that realm of entrepreneurship and doing your own shit,
Because you're going to be tested all the time.
it's a constant,
single day.
uncomfortable situation.
And you have to continue to dig deep and obviously go back to taking action daily and have that discipline daily, that no matter what happens, no matter how many shit sandwiches I'm going to eat today, I'm going to continue to be disciplined and do what I'm supposed to do. Because at the end of the day, that's how you really become successful. Because most people, as soon as they have some sort of shit sandwich, they're like, all right, I'm out of this business. That person says I shouldn't be a plumber. My crack's too big, or whatever it is. I'm done. And that's the thing is, then they're done.
Hey, it might work for the fucking benefit.
Push forward.
Yeah,
Be
man.
disciplined.
You got it. Exactly. See, that's why I don't believe in motivation, man. Look, you just said it right now. Discipline. Discipline is the key to success, period, man. Fuck motivation.
But what do you think is fueling him to be disciplined when he has
I think this is going to be a
when
debate forever.
he
guys.
has that like that extra 2 hours that he should be putting into his business
It's
to
the
be
discipline.
disciplined.
It's
but
it
it's
is
going to be that
discipline.
fuel,
But I'll be
especially like
honest
with
with you.
him. This dude, if you knew a little bit more about Adam,
Oh,
you'd
shit.
realize.
here we go.
Oh,
this
fuck. So we're
is the
about to
most
learn more about Adam right
vengeful-
now.
This is the most vengeful person that I know. Like,
I'm not vengeful.
if you screw,
No, what do you mean?
If you fuck Adam over, man, he will be there getting his revenge until you're in your grave.
That is not true.
I hope not. That's bad.
On another episode, we're gonna tell the story about a client.
No.
Actually, maybe we won't. Maybe we won't get into that. We'll leave it a bit. Hey, if you ever want to hear the story, come find us. We'll buy you a beer and we'll
Do you
tell
want to?
you.
Yeah,
an
you
amazing
know what?
story.
We'll tell you
Yeah.
because you know why? This is the way I live my life, dude. No, I'm no greater friend, no worse enemy.
That's good.
Simple.
Dude, and it should be. Look, I think that if people cross you over, fuck them. That's like people that work for me. Dude, you work for me.
I don't
I
hurt
hope.
someone. I use that as fuel to go because look, man, to be disciplined in what we do, it takes a lot of time and it's a lot of off hours where you know what, it's hard. It
But
really gets hard.
see, this is where it gets interesting because I think that you just said it right now. In order for me to accomplish and to have all this stuff and to have the discipline, you never once mentioned motivation. You mentioned other reasons why. Because see, again, motivation comes and goes. Dude, how many times have we woke up in the morning and fucking put on Rocky to get you motivated and go out and do it? No, you just get up and do it because you know you have to fucking do it.
But when you have that shit in your head, people that told you would never make it, and people that told you were never going to amount to shit, that's going to give you that extra
Oh, yeah.
motivation to be disciplined. And I'm going to stand by this. I'm a big believer that you're going to use your positive, your whys, definitely your purpose,
Your why.
but you're going to have negative. You're going to have
Let me
that
tell you what someone
negative.
told. Let me tell you
fuel.
what someone told me in 2001 with the past girlfriend. The mom told the daughter who was dating me at the time. She says, "Because I want to be a cop. That's all I want to be." And I had no visions of being an entrepreneur or anything like that. And she knew that. I was in the Marine Corps at the time. She goes, why would you want to be with Adam? He's not going to be rich. He's not going to have money. You can fall in love with someone just as easily with money or without money. So don't be with Adam. And that was what the mom told the daughter. So you know what, motherfucker? I don't want to say because my drive is not based off money whatsoever now. My drive is way different than that. But it's gonna be pretty cool to shove it down the neck one day.
Dude, it's funny. Yeah, I think I went through the same thing because
18 years later,
they told me the same thing when I'm not gonna mention names, but when I went, they said, "Are you sure you want to marry this person?" I'm like, they don't even have nothing going for themselves. I mean, he does loans. I was like, what the fuck? Let's just say that fucking change. But, regardless what the fuck it is, take action. I mean, whatever fuels you, whatever motivates you.
Take action.
Just fucking do it. I think that's the most important thing. But, again, just, my whole thing out there is if you're going to do that, just keep your eyes on what you're doing. I mean, stay focused on what that mission is, 'cause sometimes you can't get derailed. And if you're going to get derailed, it's going to obviously offset you to something that might end up not being what you wanted to do. In my example.
Yeah. And in my example, you can use alternative fuel if you need to.
Yes.
Most definitely.
Powered by First Form. What is it?
Dude, I listen to Andy fucking Frizella all the time. And he helps me with a lot of shit. So sometimes I just need it every morning.
Yeah. Dude, there's a lot of shit out there. Read a book, fucking listen to a podcast, fucking, get in the right mindset that way, Everybody's strategy is going to be different. My whole thing is just fucking do something. That's it. Period. Just fucking do it. Because if you're not, then you're fucking yourself over. That's it.
Just do it.
I'm fucking out.
And I can't wait for that guy to...
Veterans Battalion.
Veterans Battalion.
See you guys.
Thanks for listening and serving. Please take the time to leave a review on iTunes to get this podcast heard. Veterans Battalion.